Outwardly speaking, this little boy's health state seems to be very normal. Expose him to grass, and he would swell in an instant. An unbearable burden of an allergy to grass made this woman to cry bitterly as all her efforts to help her son proved futile. Let us see what God had to say regarding this little boy's health condition.
My name is Buitumelo Sarambi from Motlabe, but currently I'm staying in Mahalape with my son. He was diagnosed with allergies of grass last year, December. When he stays outside the house, he'll be like this. But if we stay inside the house like this morning, when we arrive, his eyes was like this. But now we spend a lot of time indoors. Her eyes is not swollen like when we arrived this morning.
Your son is allergic
to grass.
to grass.
Yes.
If he stays outside, what happens?
He'll be like this.
The eyes will be as if they are swelling.
Yes. Even at school, there was a time his teacher called me, telling me to come and take him to the hospital. So he is depending on medication. If I don't give him medication, he will be like this. My son is suffering.
Thank you. This is meant to draw you close to Jesus, okay?
Yes.
Your son will be healed.
Amen.
This is a blessed boy, okay? Come on.
Hey.
This is evil spirit. Jesus Christ. Who are you? Bring them up. Bring them up. Look here. Look at me. The mother is crying, he's inside the pocket. Zoomed. Stand up, madam. Okay, look here, madam. It's not time to cry, it's time to laugh now. Hold your child. Say thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus, for healing my son.
Thank you. There is grass outside there. Go with your son to the lawn there.
To demonstrate God's ability to heal, this beautiful lawn, which was once an enemy to Emmanuel's health, is now an exciting playground to lay calmly without any fear.
How are the eyes?
They are not red.
They are not red.
Yes.
Stand up.
But before you pray for him, they were red.
Come back to the church. Thank you.
Good morning, church. My name is Buitumelo Sarambi. I'm coming from Motlabe, but currently I'm working and staying in Mahalape with my son. His name is Emmanuel Kgosi Sarambi. He is 6 years old. The problem that brought us to church is because he was diagnosed with allergies to grasses. It all started on the 23rd of December last year. My sister kids visited us at Mahalape. Then that day, I decided to take them out. They said they want to go for swimming. I took them to a recreational place in Mahalape where there are different activities are taken there. So I took them to the swimming pool. Little did I know that I'm taking my son to a wrong place. While he was swimming, I noticed that he went in the pool, come out, scratching his eyes. I took it light because I was thinking that it was because they've put more chlorine inside the water. So after they finished swimming, we went home, but still he was still scratching his eyes. On the 24th morning, he was complaining of itching eyes. So because it was our traveling day to come home, I just told him he will be fine. On the 25th, in the morning, he told me, "Mommy, my eyes are scratching." I told him, "No, he's going to be fine. Just relax." At around past 7 to 8 in the evening, I noticed that his eyes now have started swelling. So I decided to take him to the hospital. At the hospital, they just gave us an allergic medication and they sent us back home. I gave him the medication, but still in the morning, no improvement. But that time, the eyes were not swollen, but still red. We went on during the holidays. On the, I don't know when I will say, mid-31 or 1st of January evening, I noticed that his face was swollen all over. So I decided to take him to the hospital again that night. So when we arrived at the hospital, they put drip on him, and the doctor advised me to do some tests, and they said I should come for results after 3 days. So after 3 days, I went to the hospital. They gave me the report that shows my son got allergic to grass. I was told not to go anywhere there is grass because if he can encounter with any pollen from the grass, he will react. So we went back to Mahalape. When we get there, he went out to play with others. When he came back home, his face were all over, swollen, and the eyes were reddish. So I took him to the private hospital at Mahalape. They changed the medication. Every time when I go to the hospital, they would change the medication. He had tasted all the allergic medication within that period of 3 months. So the doctor then told me that there is no cure for this disease. What you have to do is to take care of your son. Do not expose him to the grass. That's all you can do. As you all know, a boy child is very difficult to control. Kgosi will always sneak out and play with others. I will notice when I come back from work that Kgosi went out because of the eyes and the face. We went on like this, living like this, until when I decided to come to church. The moment when he encounter with the grass, after 5-10 minutes, he'll be reacting. Just because we are staying in Mahalape, you don't come to church regularly. So there was that Sunday when I watched 3G ministry on YouTube. It was old clip. That clip, prophet was prophesying for a brother in the church. He was telling him that he met that spirit at a swimming area where there were a lot of people swimming, doing different activities. And that clip makes me to think of that, because I took my son to a swimming area, maybe my son got the same spirit that prophet was prophesying to our brother in the church. I usually come to church and leave him home. So that clip encouraged me to come with him to church. That's when on last Sunday, I came to church with him after watching that clip. As I was in prayer line, when the man of God was praying for people, I started noticing a severe headache in me. The headache was too much that I was thinking of going out, because there was headache and kind of sweating, having heat sensation inside me. I don't know what was happening to me, but I wanted to stand up. It's like I was feeling like I want to vomit, but there was no vomit. And I don't know how to explain how I felt that day. When the prophet came closer to us, the headache increases in such a way that I wanted to go out, but I remained staying because I wanted prophet to pray for my son. I don't know what happened after that, because prophet started praying for me before he can pray for my son. When the man of God was praying for me, before, it's like I was heavy and I was thinking that it's because of the problem my son have. But after I was prayed for, I felt light. That headache went off immediately and I started feeling fresh.
Shall we put our hands together beautifully for the miracle working God?
My son can play, even though before on Monday he asked me, Mama, are you sure you want me to go and play outside? Because every time when I'm from picking him from school, I instructed him to stay inside the house, not to go out. So that Monday after the prayer, I told him, we can take your ball and your bicycle and pray outside with others. And he said, are you sure that I should go out? I said, yes, you can go, because prophet had prayed for you and you are healed. You are not going to react. Kgosi is fine. He's not reacting to any pollen grasses. He's fine ever since Sunday he was prayed for.
Shall we put our hands together beautifully for the miracle working God? You're welcome. How are you?
I'm fine.
What is your name?
My name is Kgosi Emmanuel Sarame.
You went to play with your friends, and when you were playing with your friends, did you get itching eyes?
No,
How are you now?
I'm fine.
Shall we put our hands together beautifully for the miracle working God?
If I may take you through the board, this is the medical report that shows that Kgosi had Bermuda grass allergies. This is how he is when he can encounter with any pollen from the grass. He'll be like this. This was our daily bread. When I went to school to pick him, just because there's grass at school, he'll be like this. This picture, I took it on Monday when I instructed him to go to play outside. He was from school. You can see the difference from school before he was prayed for and from school after he was prayed for. I'll say, with God, everything is possible. I've tried all the medication, they didn't do anything. From the past 3 months, I was using the medication and nothing happened to my son. Rather, the problem was increasing. But after I encounter with God, just a day, everything went off. That is why I'm saying with God, everything is possible.
Shall we put our hands together beautifully for the miracle working God?
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.